Today we're going on a backpacking trip, a quick 10-mile, 2-day backpacking trip in Rocky Mountain National Park. It's going to be a great time.
If we've not met before, we are the Rattles, a family of 4 that live in northern Colorado and enjoy spending time together in nature. Over Labor Day weekend, we took our children, almost 5 and almost 1, on their very first backpacking trip in the Lumpy Ridge area outside of Rocky Mountain National Park in Estes. My husband Joseph and I have backpacked together and separately for the entirety of our 10-year relationship, but this was the first time we took our kids out on the trails for an overnight trip. And boy, did we learn a lot. Lumpy Ridge is best known for the Gem Lake Trail, a trail that we completed with our children earlier in the year. And so we felt comfortable and confident stepping back into that section as a family. We learned pretty quickly that there was a lot of elevation gain on day 1 of our 2-day trip, but really enjoyed being able to take things slow and support our kids in that process. Our son, who was almost 5 at the time, was able to walk the entirety of the trip, 5 days on day 1 and 5 miles on day 2. And then our daughter was carried in the trail magic, trading off between my husband and I so that we could both take turns and not feel overwhelmed with her added weight. She did great.
We made it. How do you feel?
Gosh, sweaty. Yeah, probably one of the hardest things we've done with our kids. Really proud of us.
For this overnight camping trip, we had to get a wilderness permit, and that gave us access to a single camping spot.
We are
Setting up our tent in a place outside of Estes Park in Rocky Mountain National Park.
Following the Leave No Trace process, we used freeze-dried food and packed in and packed out our packaging. We were really lucky to have a composting toilet at our campsite, and we all squeezed into a 2-season 4-person tent that served us really well as the temperatures weren't super low at night. In the morning, we packed up all of our gear and hit the trail. It was absolutely beautiful, and day 2, we felt like we had great energy starting out with the sun. What we noticed pretty quickly is that despite having a lot of energy, we were sore, both from sleeping on the ground, but also from having carried our packs on our first half of the trip. Our son was in great spirits and was able to carry his backpack a good portion of day 2, and that really supported Joey in not having to carry both packs himself. Our daughter got a lot of rest in on those morning steps, and we were really grateful as we started to hike uphill, knowing that we were approaching Gem Lake, which was the final portion of our trip. As I already mentioned, we followed the lead of our kids, and we're really blessed to be able to stop when they needed rest. We loved that rest ourselves. It was really great to go at a slower speed. Ultimately, we learned a lot as a family backpacking together for the first time. We learned that you have to pace yourself when children are involved, that it's okay to take those breaks, that you have a lot of fun when you do it together, and that it's worth it.
Finished! Taking kids backpacking is not for the weak of heart, but hey, we did it. We had fun. Really proud of ourselves.